Recently booted up my Switch for the first time in months and decided I'd have a look on the eShop to see what had come out recently. To my surprise, among the most recent releases on the UK store were 3 Japanese language 18+ rated games in a series called Pure/Electric Love. With my curiosity piqued, I clicked to find them describe themselves as, quote, a love-likeness pseudo-talk game, Electric Love, that is a topic in the smartphone, a little embarrassing, in a conversation, that pounding romance skill up.
One more time?
A love-likeness pseudo-talk game, Electric Love, that is a topic in the smartphone, a little embarrassing, in a conversation, that pounding romance skill up.
One more time?
Oh, boy. Let's just move on. And featuring other such descriptive gems as Fetish Cosplay Year, Hobby Survival Game, shooting,
No, I'm out.
Fighter Horn Blowing,
Back in, baby.
The fuck is that?
Fetish Cosplayer Eri Kitano is a welcome Otiyuki blog. Please tell her with hyper deadly tension. But finally,
I need to tell you something. With hyper deadly tension.
rotation in a good sense.
Oh, yeah.
While being healed, make the brain gear turn at super speed with Maid, Bondage, etc. Gallery image movie.
Maid, bondage, etc.
So my question is this. Is the Nintendo seal of quality dead? Is porn on the eShop inevitable at this point?
They're curating the right stuff, it sounds like.
You know,
I'd put my seal on that.
yeah, this stuff came out on the Japanese eShop a while ago, and then eventually made its way over to the US and I guess the UK, the EU shops as well. I've been a hair away from buying one of these for, like, every time I open it up and there's another thing there, like, I should really see what this is. It looks like they didn't translate it at all.
Yeah,
so I don't know what the fuck
like a Google Translate.
Yeah,
on
and
just
that's
the
for like the shop
description.
description, but the screenshots are all still in Japanese.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I don't know what you'd even get.
I mean,
I know what you
language-
might get out of it, but
The language of love is universal,
that's a good point.
so you'd probably be
Yeah.
able to figure out how to play it.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of DLC for sale for this stuff too. Like it seems like you buy the initial download, and then there's a bunch of new scenarios you can add on. These are just it's all like, I don't know if it's photos or video. I assume it's video. Of these girls doing whatever it is they're doing.
Gallery image
fighting-
and a movie.
Yeah, but
They're fighting hornblowers.
they're not going to allow full on nudity on the eShop, I don't believe. So,
You can get a patch.
it's probably not what you're looking for.
But yeah, the running narrative about the eShop is that it's
It's got a lot of stuff on it.
a mess.
It's got a lot of stuff on it.
Anybody can kind of put any old thing up there.
Yeah.
Like,
So
does it stuff,
Self-publishing is
sneak
self-publishing.
through,
No,
or-
like, what are you going to say no to? As long as it's
Right.
within your guidelines of like, hey, this isn't actual porn. You're going to allow M-rated games onto the platform, which, Nintendo used to, we all know, they used to have a much firmer hand in terms of the amount of violence they would allow on. At some point, they're like, oh, actually,
Now they have a firmer hand in a different regard.
yeah. I mean, BMX XXX came out on the GameCube.
Yeah.
It didn't
That's fair.
have. It had it was slightly different than the PS2 version in terms of I think you could go bottomless on PS2, but there was a black bar on GameCube. I forget what it was.
I guess
That's
that's
got to be uncomfortable for biking.
Yeah, no, yeah.
that's probably why this is surprising to me, is because it's hard to let go of that Mortal Kombat 1 era image of Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, self-publishing plus, like what is an M-rated game, all the other stuff. Actually, I guess that stuff doesn't even have to go through ESRB, does it?
I think if it's download only, it doesn't.
Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna get stuff like this, as you should, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're gonna let people publish stuff on their platform and you're gonna be fairly open on the content end of things, then you're eventually gonna get some stuff like this along the way.
I guess it's less a matter of what you allow people to put out and more how you curate it.
Right.
How you present it.
Totally, and it's not like they're putting this stuff necessarily in featured promoed positions.
Right.
It's you go to see what's everything that came out in the last 30 days.
Or I guess if anything, the problem is that's kind of how they do it, right? It's just like, here's everything.
Yeah,
Like,
they
there
don't.
is not a lot of curation on the eShop from the sound of it.
I loaded up the 3DS eShop recently, and I hate it, but for a different reason. If anything, it's too curated. Like, it's too many different buckets of like, here's new stuff, here's like, and then they break down into different genres, and here's the stuff that's theoretically on sale, or but none of it is presented very well, because the 3DS eShop was never a great place to play games. So I think they'll probably eventually have to redesign the eShop just to better accommodate the number of games available.
But I hope they don't take that bucket approach as well, because
Yeah.
it's so hard to find like smaller titles.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get Super Mario.
Well, if you
like
want to
Mario
find
Kart 8,
yeah,
like in 3 different of those buckets.
they're never going to promote this game though. So if
Right.
you want to find the smaller titles, the truly small titles, you're always going to have to go to show me the new releases and let me scroll through everything.
And that sucks. If I'm a
Yeah.
small indie developer, I'm not making a porn game. I'm making a shmup or something. And it's really cool. I'm not going to get FaceTime.
Yeah, maybe they need to provide some more levers for developers that want to spend some money on marketing on the front page of the eShop.
Gross.
That's what that stuff is.
I
like
know,
the
but it's
placement,
gross.
the placement on the PS4 shop. That's not free.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I almost really like their channel concept on the Switch, except I don't think that lives in the eShop. Is that part of their news section?
Yeah, that's
I
part of
think?
the news.
But you can't go browse individual channels. You can only subscribe to them and get a massive feed of everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I want to go look at the Mario Odyssey channel and see all the stuff you put up about Mario Odyssey, but you can't do that.
Right.
You can only subscribe to it and pull it
And
into...
then it's in the mix of and because I have a Japanese account on my Switch, I get the same things twice because it'll be the Japanese version and the English version, and some of that's really fun because it's like the Japanese equivalent of the Nintendo Minute.
Yes,
and
there is some good stuff on the Japanese eShop for sure.
Yeah,
but they should let you browse those channels.
Maybe I'll buy one of those things someday, and we will take a look at some fetish cosplay on a Switch.
Give me the term again. Is it fighting horn blowing?
Fighter horn blowing.
Fighter horn blowing.
Yes.
Fetish made, etc.
Fetish cosplay year.
Get your horn blown.
Rotation in a good sense.
That's my fetish.
Not
good
in a
rotation.
Not in a bad sense.
No.
Yeah.
Like a nice smooth rotation?
No, like Tetris used to have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ott in Virginia.
Really gets the brain gears turning at a high speed, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I do.